You may want to bring a rain poncho, but for those of us sitting in the lawns that we can't afford the seats, you may want to bring maybe the rain suit. Go to Walmart and get a rain suit because we may be dealing with a little bit of some messy wet weather out there later this evening. In fact, here's a look at your Sir Paul McCartney concert forecast. So when you're driving to the car or driving the car to Isleta, well, we could already be seeing some of those showers and storms here in the metro area. But by 8 o'clock, we could even still see some of that messy wet weather. And there's still potential, even as we get to the end of the concert, that there's still that potential of seeing some of that messy wet weather out there as well. So we'll get to that here in a second, but notice where that bullseye is for the highest rain potential. Well, that does include us here in the metro, but that also includes our friends in Socorro, as well as down into Ruidoso, again, where we have flood watches spanning eastern portions of Bernalillo, east of the Sandias, and then stretching down to the south and east, including our friends also in the Roswell area. So a lot of us will need to remember to be on that flash flood safety awareness side. But not only that, severe weather is also possible as those storms progress further to the east. Some of those storms could become strong to severe, capable of producing damaging winds, as well as the potential for some large hail. That timeline goes from 3 until 10 o'clock this evening. Here's where that flash flood threat lies. When we showed this morning, it has now been expanded out, in fact, by the Weather Prediction Center. So now Albuquerque is included in that 2 out of 4 risk where flash flooding is likely in spots. So we'll need to be also on that flash flood safety awareness side. Again, if you come across the low-lying areas, flooded roadways, turn around, don't drown, avoid those dry arroyos. We haven't seen a whole lot of rainfall in our monsoon season, and it looks like this week is shaping up to be at least monsoon's last stand for the week. Now, here we're already starting to see at least some of that messy wet weather again in portions of the state. The metro right now is remaining dry, but in the next couple of hours is where I expect to see potentially some of that messier wet weather starting to form. So by about 4 or 5 o'clock to the west, and then pushing further to the east as we get into about 6, 7, and even 8 o'clock, we could still see some of that rain impacting the metro area. Notice where we start seeing some of those pinks. That could be the heavier rainfall. That could also be indications of the potential for some hail as well. Now, here's where I think our best rain chance starts to lie. Breaking this down hour by hour, we could start to see any one storm here in the metro starting now. But by the time that we get to those later afternoon and evening hours, that's when I think we'll start to see those chances increasing. By between 6 and 9, I think is when we'll see the highest potential. And then we could still see the potential for more showers and storms even as we go into those overnight hours. In fact, if you're heading out to Balloon Fiesta tomorrow morning, we could still see some of that during that 5 a.m. hour when we usually see the drone show. And then by 7, I think rain chances should start to clear out, but we can still see some of those cloudy skies. We could even still see some of those gustier winds as well. By 9 o'clock, though, at least mostly to partly cloudy with temperatures only in the upper 50s by 9 o'clock. So overall, big picture through the day today. Once again, some spots have better potential for rain than others. Temperatures are really going to be anywhere from the 60s to the 80s for our friends in the southern half of the state. Again, Roswell was included in that 2 out of 4 risk of flash flooding. So that's where we have that forewarn advisory. Again, if you come across any flooded roadways, please turn around, don't drown. Have multiple ways of receiving those warnings. The northern side of the state, I think some spots in the northeastern side have better potential. The northwest side, I think, is going to remain a little bit more on that dry side today. Again, Farmington, at least mostly clear skies, 79. Lower rain chances come into the forecast tomorrow. And then by the end of the work week and into the weekend, we'll see another surge of some more tropical moisture from Hurricane Priscilla, or what will be the remnants of Hurricane Priscilla, moving into our neck of the woods. Now, again, some spots, look at this, 7-day forecast for Santa Fe. Rain chances are on the board for every single day for our friends in Santa Fe. So again, it's more of that resurgence of a late monsoon season for us. Even though October is supposed to be our dry season, we're seeing at least some rain chances nearly every single day for some parts across New Mexico. For us here again, 40% chance for the afternoon, but by the evening, higher potential for rain.